Hello and welcome to another video tutorial from computergaga.com. Today's tutorial is look at indenting paragraphs in Microsoft Word 2007. Now the first thing we need to do is select the paragraphs that we want to format. This can be done by either clicking and dragging to select the required paragraphs, or another good method will be to use the selection pane over on your left and click and drag down that. If we only need to format one paragraph, we could just click inside that paragraph. Because we're doing paragraph formatting, as long as our cursor is somewhere within that paragraph, that is all that's required. Now we're going to look at three different ways of indenting this paragraph. The first way is to click on the page layout tab of the ribbon and to change the settings within the left and right indentation margins here. For example, if I change the left to 1 centimetre, and I'm just going to tidy up this right one, which seems to be set to -0.1. We have a 1 centimetre indentation from the left margin. That can be removed just by setting that back to 0, or by using these arrows to scroll it down as well. You can also do the same to the right margin, maybe 2 centimetres this time, and we've got an indentation from the right hand margin. It's nice and easy. Using this paragraph group on the page layout tab, we can enter the measurements that we want. Another way is to use the paragraph dialog box. Now we can open this by either using the little dialog box launcher arrow in the corner of the paragraph group here, or on the home tab choose the same button in the paragraph group here. If I click on this one for now, the paragraph dialog box opens, and we also have an indentation area about halfway down. So I may remove that 2 centimetre right indent we currently have, and maybe I'll look at this special option which we didn't have a moment ago. The special option will allow you to apply or modify some first line and hanging indentation. Now first line does as it says on the tin, it will indent the first line only. Hanging indents are only ever used with bullets and numbering, so you probably won't be coming here too often to play around with that option. But if you ever deal with bulleted numbered lists, then it's useful to have an awareness of that and being able to modify your hanging indent. If I choose first line, and I'm just going to change the setting to 1 centimetre again, and click on OK. So we now have a 1 centimetre indent on only the first line of the paragraph. The final way of indenting paragraphs is to actually use the ruler itself. Now if you don't see the ruler at the moment, we can view the ruler by clicking the little view ruler button found above your vertical scroll bar. If I click that little button, the ruler will disappear. If I click it again, it appears. The ruler is a very fast way of removing and applying indents. It's not as accurate as the methods we've been looking at so far, where you can actually set 1.3 centimetres for example, but it's a lot quicker than having to go to the correct tab, type in the measurement and press enter and to run it from there. For example, at the moment we can see I still have that first line indent applied. This little downward facing arrow is a first line indent marker. I could remove that indentation just by clicking and dragging that marker back to the margin. The other markers down here apply the other indentations. So we've seen the first one will do our first line indent. The bottom little square is your normal left indent. There's a 1.5 centimetre left indent. And the upwards facing arrow is that hanging indent I mentioned. As you can see, what it does is the first line is still on the margin, but the rest of the paragraph is indented, which is just as a bulleted or numbered list would appear. So it's the only time you'll need them used. I'm going to use that to drag it back. We also have a right indent marker on the right hand margin to indent from the right. As you can see, this is a lot quicker than using the dialog box method, but it's not as accurate. What I do like about using this method a lot of the time is removing the indentation as opposed to actually creating them. So you might use the page layout tab to set a margin. Maybe that's a lot more accurate, you know now that's 1 centimetre. But at the time when you don't need it anymore, it's a lot quicker just to drag that back to the start as opposed to coming into page layout, modifying the setting back to 0 and then pressing enter. And that's that. That is indenting paragraphs in Microsoft Word. Please feel free to check out our other tutorials at computerguard.com, or check us out on Facebook or on our YouTube channel to find more great tutorials from us.